Welcome back to Tailgate Talk, Season 2, Episode number 15, with your host, the prognosticator, co-host, Grampus, and the one and only K-Dog. We also have special guests with us today, Walker Hillman and Zayne Reed of the Gay City Blue Devils. Boys, let's get it poppin'. Well, we'd like to welcome our guest, Walker and Zayne. Welcome to the show, guys. Just feel free to jump in here and have a good time with us talking football today, okay?
Yep. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man. Well, as a lot of you know, today is a special day in America. And one of our co-hosts here is an ex-Marine. And
ain't no such thing as ex-Marine.
Well, was a Marine and still is a Marine at heart and everything. He pulled his time, and Grant, we do want to say we appreciate that and everything. And with that being said, we got a little tribute song for you, buddy.
They complete their routine and return to the rear of the parade, playing their signature tune, the Marines' Hymn.
All right, buddy. There's you a little bit of the Marine song. Happy birthday to you, boys.
I appreciate it. Happy birthday to any fellow Marines listening. And we get today, and we let those other branches join us there tomorrow for Veterans Day. But, us Marines get first.
That's right, baby. All right. Well, boys, let's get into a little bit of the college football this week. And we had Miami, Georgia Tech up first. Georgia Tech pulled off a big game here, 28-23.
Miami been playing with fire all year, and, of course, Georgia Tech seems to be one of those teams that always gives them a fit, and they pulled it off, man. Miami didn't look like, they couldn't get that second half comeback going.
Yeah, Ward, he was 25 of 39 for 348 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, but he had a real big turnover there right at the end of the game where they got him from behind and he fumbled the ball.
What do you think back, Kermit?
I tell you, I like the press conference after the game better than anything. Got them boys on there from Georgia Tech, and the one guy told them, said, this is something nobody can take away from me. This is something I'll remember the rest of my life. That's what it's about. Big moments, big games like that.
Yeah,
they showed up to play. Georgia Tech did, and they went out there and took care of business. And it's like he said, nobody will never take it away from them.
Well, total yardage wise, Miami pretty much killed Georgia Tech everywhere except in the rushing department, and Georgia Tech rushed the ball for 271 yards to Miami's 88.
Hard to beat anybody when you can't stop the run.
And the clock goes tick, tick, tick.
Well, they had that one drive in the first half. It took like almost 11 minutes, Georgia Tech. Did y'all watch this or anything?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. Seemed like Miami was going to be, top dogs going through the year, but, can't underlook anybody.
No, you can't.
No, that's a fact. I think one of the biggest factors in this game was third down. Miami was only 3 for 10, where Georgia Tech was 9 of 14. So third downs was a lot better for Georgia Tech, and I think that's probably the difference in the game right there, moving those chains on that third down situation.
If you run the ball like that, you're probably looking at a lot of 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 1s.
Well, that's what you're hoping for anyhow. Yeah. If you're going to be on third down. All right, Mississippi, Tennessee. Mississippi State, son.
Well, Tennessee seemed to, the offense showed up the first half, looked like. And then Nico went out with I don't think it's that serious of an injury. I think it's more of we don't want to lose him for next week whenever they go down to Athens. But come out, man, that's like I've said all year, the thing about Tennessee that they play defense and they can run the football. And that's the second half. If you're an old school football fan, I don't care what you think about Josh Heupel's offense. If you watch that second half, that was old school smash mouth. We're going to run it down your throat, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Football, and came away with the win.
He really didn't have much choice in that.
No, he
half.
didn't. That guy, that quarterback that came in, Graham, whatever, I can't remember his last name now, but he made some decent throws. Obviously, he's not going to throw the ball 50 times and beat you, but if he can pick up a few first downs with some throws and stuff, that helps you. But man, they just lined up and ran it down their throat.
Well,
you got Kermit.
Well, Tennessee come out with a fast start this time. They didn't wait till the second half to start playing ball. They come out and put 14 up real quick on them and just pretty much dominated pretty much the whole game. Even without a quarterback, they still dominated the whole game. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, Mississippi State had 179 yards rushing herself in this game, which Tennessee had 240. And that was pretty even on third down efficiency. It was Tennessee was 5 of 14, and Mississippi State was 3 of 13. So Tennessee had about 14 plays more too in the game than what.
What'd y'all think about this game? Did y'all watch it?
It was a little worrying. Seeing Nico go down. But I think it was more of a cautionary thing than, an injury that's real bad. But yeah, Tennessee's, they got a real good run game. If you can't stop it, it's going to take the clock down and you ain't got nowhere to go with it.
Now, Zayne, this is your favorite team, ain't it, brother?
Yeah, it's my favorite team.
Yeah, so you ain't got nothing to say on this one?
I mean, we came out explosive. He looked pretty good. Nico going down, slowed us down a little bit, but I feel like still played great with their backup. Didn't Dylan get hurt too throughout that game?
He came back. He hurt his ankle there in the first half, but he came back in the second half.
Yeah. Well, sounds like bandwagon fans to me, boys.
Oh, no, you know better than that.
Colorado, Texas Tech. Colorado 41, Texas Tech 27.
Deion got them boys playing some ball.
Well, it's Shallow done the Deion dance, man. Did you see
He
it?
picked that fumble up there at the end, and I didn't know if they was even going to give it to him or not. And they sure enough, they ended up giving it to him. And yeah, he made his daddy proud with that dance, didn't he?
I loved it.
All of us, well, the three of us were old enough to remember whenever that was the cool end zone dance, man.
Everybody was trying it, wasn't they?
Yeah.
I'll just be honest with you, buddy. Colorado is sneaking their way into this college playoff picture.
Well, they keep winning, and they're going to be right there with BYU. It's going to be them and BYU for that Big 12 championship. They just got to keep winning.
Yep.
I'm a fan. I'm a Deion fan. Think about it. He went to Colorado. They'd won one game. Last year they won 4 games, and they've won 7 this year. The guy can coach, man. He can get he can get young men to perform.
Well, the college playoffs want him there because that's money, son. They're wanting Colorado's there if they can get them there because that is money.
What y'all think about Colorado and Deion? Y'all fans?
I mean, yeah, I like him. He came to the program, helped him out a lot, from going, being so low in standings and then coming there and bringing them up. Really helped them out a lot.
Yeah, they were starting to look like heavy contenders last year, and they started to struggle a little bit. But he's got them 2 boys on his team that are just they're electric, man. That Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball and still not getting tired and making plays.
This kid needs to be on this thing every week, son.
It's crazy to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Aaron about this. Yeah, man. Well, like I said, if they can get there, it's gonna be big for the playoffs. Everything that Leon touches turns to gold and money, son. Virginia, Pittsburgh. I say our little buddy from Porch Talk is excited. His Cavaliers pulled this win off. 24-19, Virginia with the win.
Pitt drops 2 in a row now. They was undefeated, and now they dropped 2 in a row, and we still really didn't know where they was at until after this ball game, and you know they've played a pretty light schedule there, but I guess they're out of the picture now.
Yeah, I think this tells us more about Pittsburgh than it does Virginia, because the jury was out on Pittsburgh, and I think that, not that they're a bad football team, but I don't think they're as good as maybe what everybody had them at.
Both of them struggled offensively so bad in this game, though.
Well, that's Virginia football, ain't it?
Yeah, dirty, ugly. Get the job done, though. Which Virginia ended up with 340 total yards to Pittsburgh's 292. And they were pretty balanced as far as passing. They had 170 passing yards, 170 rushing yards. So that's pretty balanced in that department of everything. So, did y'all watch this one or anything?
No, I didn't watch this one.
No, I didn't get the chance to watch this.
I don't blame you. I don't think anybody but Virginia and Pittsburgh fans watched this game.
Probably not. Well, up next, Clemson, Virginia Tech. You Tech boys had a 7-point lead for a long time, dog.
Man, I swear they look like they got potential to do great things, and then they just slip and let them away. This game don't bother me as much as Syracuse did last week. They should have won that game at Syracuse, and this is,
Well, they was without drones and their running back. What's his name?
Yeah, but they dominated that game though, and still end up losing it somehow. it just felt like watching the game that they dominated it.
It's one of those games. If you cut the scoreboard off and kind of watch, you think, well, Tech's probably going to pull this game out, and then you see the score, and it's like, what in the world?
Yeah, it was. Their offense had been getting better and better and better and better, and then they come into this one, and I mean they just couldn't get the ball going.
Which also you got to look, Clemson's out to try to prove something after that loss last week too. They was gonna come in there hot.
Well, yeah.
That's another one of the. I was flipping through it and seen them up. I thought they might pull out the win. That's another one of them that I thought Tech was going to walk away with. They've had a couple of games come up short. Miami and Syracuse. It's been hurting them, but
Not Miami. They beat Miami. It don't matter what them officials say.
Well, what to say on the record though? That's what matters. On the record, I'm pretty sure it's in the L
but
column.
we know they beat Miami. I mean, everybody but the officials.
That's spoken like a true Tech fan. We're taking moral victories now.
Now the big thing in this game is Tech just couldn't get the run game going. They only had 40 total yards rushing in the whole game. That's not a Tech. That's not Tech.
Well, you ain't going to beat UVA-wise for only running the ball for 40 yards if you're Tech.
No.
They're like you said, it's not Tech football, but they're not set up to sling it around and stuff. They hit the passes when they have to, but they're more of a let's run the ball and play good defense. That's Tech football. And it's good, the special teams get a play here and there on special teams, but
They barely had 200 yards in the whole game. That's passing and running together. Horrible. Michigan, Indiana. Indiana had some struggles in this game, guys, but they ended up pulling it together and getting a big win here, I think, for that program.
This was the first helmet game I call it. This is the first game they've had where they go up and play somebody that's, traditionally dominated them. I think I heard them say on College Game Day that Indiana all time was 10-72 against Michigan. You got to break those trends to do what Indiana wants to do with their program. You got to break those trends. And in Michigan, we all know Michigan's going to try to make the game ugly. And that's exactly what they did. They made it an ugly football game.
Yeah, I was actually shocked it was this close of a ball game here. I thought Michigan may end up pulling this thing off. Ugly ball game.
Well, Indiana's rushing wasn't no better than Texas.
Yeah.
They had 40 yards rushing, which Michigan didn't rush the ball no better, hardly. They had 69 yards rushing, so. Wow. That one, I didn't watch a whole lot of this one, but that was a little bit uglier game than I thought. Which
I watched enough of it to know that it was Michigan made it the type of game they needed it if they were going to pull out the win. And so kudos to them. But, that tells you a lot about Indiana. They would only run the ball for 40 yards or 47 yards, whatever you said it was there, and get the win. I mean, we'll find out for sure just how real Indiana is. I think in 2 weeks. I think this weekend they got Ohio State.
I'm not sure. If they do, it's on. I've got it on our thing. Did y'all watch this one, Bulls? No.
No, I just looked at it a little bit. Yeah, I thought Michigan was going to go into that one with a chip on their shoulder, ready to, get back into the swing of things. And Indiana, they found themselves, were they ranked 11th now, somewhere around there?
I'm not sure.
I think in the AP they were 11th, but the college football thing had them. I want to say 8th.
Yeah, they were 8. Yeah.
Well,
it's 2 weeks.
They'll move up this week now for sure. It goes.
Yeah, but it's 2 weeks when Indiana and Ohio State play. So
Is it
not
2
this
weeks?
coming Saturday, but next.
Florida, Texas.
Was anybody shocked that Texas?
I'll be honest with you. At the start of this game, I was really impressed with the fire and the intensity that Texas defense came out with. Florida's.
Get off Tech. They didn't
I
come
know
out with nothing.
we're down here now, but Florida, man. They were flipping, flying around with the ball and everything.
Well, they're saying that's part of the reason that probably Napier's going to keep his job is because if you watch him, it looks like the kids want to play for him. And but yeah, they were flying around, but Texas hit a little snide there, but then they seemed to kick her back in gear.
That's what I told Aaron earlier today. I was talking to him as I was coming home, Aaron. I told him, I said, I might be about ready to jump back on that Texas bandwagon.
They seem to have turned it back on.
They did have that one game against Georgia, but, man, Georgia come out on fire that game. I mean, they looked like they was possessed, but I don't think Georgia's looked like that in any other game this year, really.
No.
He was 19 of 27 for 333 yards in this game.
5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns.
That's a pretty efficient day. You'd probably take that day, wouldn't you, Zayne?
Oh, yeah, I'll take that every day.
And Manning, he actually was 3 for 6 for 19 yards. He would have probably had that kind of game if he'd have started it. This game.
Easy.
I'm telling you, son, he's good too, son.
Whoa, dog.
Well, Texas had 562 total yards offense. That's what you want to see right there. Georgia, Ole Miss. Come on with the line train, baby.
Called this and didn't I, dog?
Oh, God. I'm definitely out off the Georgia wagon after this one. That was pitiful. Pitiful ball. Georgia's done went to sleep and put their B team in and let Lane go up there and wire them out. Awful ball game.
I tell you what surprised me in this game more than anything. I expected Ole Miss to play good defense because they've had a pretty good defense this year. What surprised me is the way they ran the ball on Georgia's defense between the tackles. I mean, it wasn't gimmick stuff. It was just line up and
straight at you.
Yeah, that surprised me, and that's why Ole Miss won this game, because they could run between the tackles.
Question for you: is Beck close to being benched?
I don't think he is. I don't think he's close to being benched. I don't think Kirby's that is going to do. I mean, we all look at
9 interceptions in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I think he's close. He's played awful bad here. What, last 3 games there? He ain't done much.
And not only is the interceptions bad, he fumbled once in this game, or maybe twice.
Yeah, I still don't see. Kirby's not going to hit the panic button or nothing. That, to me, that's the signal you're seeing if you bench him is panic. I mean, now if I'm coaching, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm like, hey, maybe if we make a switch at quarterback, it might have the same effect that it had last year with Milroe.
Okay, they're fixing to walk into Knoxville.
No, they're home in Georgia.
Knoxville's fixing to come to them, I meant. Okay, I know you are at home, but your offense had a lot of question marks, your line, in this game too. And you're fixing to face one of the best defensive fronts in the SEC, or probably in college football, period. And your quarterback's struggling the way he is. I mean, what do you do? I mean, you're just throwing somebody else to the wolves there, I think, too.
Yeah, you don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't make the change. We're in game 9, and I don't think you make the change in this game not with Tennessee's pass rush and defense coming. So you got a second teamer over there who hasn't seen that.
Is he on deck though?
He might be warming up.
But now you say you don't make the change this late in the game, but Nick Saban made one of the biggest changes anybody ever seen right in the middle of a national title game. Pull a national title quarterback out, set him on the bench, and start your rookie right in the daggone national title game. That was crazy. I thought it was crazy. I'd say most.
Well, when he did that too, I ain't gonna lie, dog. I was like, man, that's crazy crap.
Yeah, I mean, this guy just led you to a national title the year before, but you still benched him. And that was crazy, but it worked.
Well, boys, what you all think about it?
Being a Tennessee fan, it's great hearing that Georgia is coming off slow right now. I mean, we run the ball so well, so hearing all that is just great,
Yeah, I don't think now the way college football is going, I don't really think there's a game that you can go into, expecting a blowout, because there's not really one dominant team this year. It's just every game's looking to be a battle.
There is one. It's them Ducks. Don't forget about them Ducks, baby.
I tell you what, though, the way Georgia usually performs, this is what makes me nervous as a Tennessee fan. I was going to save this till we start picking next week, but I'm going to say it now. Georgia coming off a loss at home at night. Kirby will have them ready. I mean, if they're going to have another game where they look like they did against Texas, it'll be Saturday night.
Oh, there's definitely going to be a fire built.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think it's getting in his head, in Beck's head.
I think that's the thing. I think when I came out at the beginning of the year, he didn't trust his receivers because they were all new. So and then it was like, well, I have to make more happen instead of just taking what the defense gives him. And then he started forcing throws, and now I'm like you. I think it's just in his head. He don't know which way to go.
Yeah, I believe it's in his head. Alabama, LSU. This was a Russian display.
It's just total domination by Alabama right here. You know, it's second year in a row. Milroe went and run for 4 touchdowns. Daggone, one of them was, 70 yards or something like that?
He looked like, honestly, like in this game, he looked like he would be one of the best running backs in the SEC.
Well, he definitely led them in rushing, but they had like 9 players get carries in this game.
You wouldn't think they'd go down to LSU and just totally dominate like that in their house, and that is crazy.
It's unreal, man. I'm trying to look at they had 311 rushing yards in the game for a total of 420 yards, 109 through the air.
Milroe had half of them, didn't
Well, he had 185 yards rushing, and that's just on like 12 carries with 4 touchdowns.
he? So he had over half the yards.
He averaged 15.4 yards per carry. That's unreal.
Ain't a bad night.
No. Which
You take a night like that too, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, I would.
the Wiggins kid, he averaged 22 yards a carry. He only had 1 for 22 yards.
Dude, that kid's a freak of nature. 17 years old, out there playing that level.
Oh, I know it. His speed, man, is just.
I tell you, and like some of those catches he had earlier in the year, the way he could twist his body around and stuff, that's just, you don't see that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. After what Tennessee done to him, and he's still out there.
I gained more respect for him in that Tennessee game because you could tell that they were going to be physical with him, and they hit him and hit him and hit him. And I mean, you know, he's getting up a little slow a few times, but he just kept getting up, kept lining up, kept running across the middle. I was like, man, that kid's a football player.
Wipe the blood off, boys. Keep on getting it.
I know you didn't put this one on here, but man, did any of y'all watch South Carolina and Vandy go at it?
No, I missed that one. I forgot it was on, actually.
I think South Carolina's your new Vandy, boys. I think they've took it over.
Yeah, they won this one, didn't they?
They playing some ball. They beat Vandy pretty good, handily.
Well, it's like we've talked in the past. Vandy's not sneaking up on people now. I mean, everybody knows they're watching for them now.
Yeah, now you better bring it.
Y'all got anything on this LSU Alabama?
No, I didn't get to watch that one.
I just skimmed through. It wasn't much of a game, you know. Milroe, he had a mission going into there, and he executed it really well.
Yeah, man, he sure did. All right, boys, we're going to get into the college pick'ems for this week. And up first, we have Arizona State, Kansas State.
Get me the fighting scataboos out of Arizona State.
Scataboo, baby! Yeah, the Arizona State's looking pretty hot right now.
Who you got, Walker?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Arizona State.
Zayne?
I'm gonna go right what everyone else is saying with Arizona State.
Yeah, I'm going with the Scataboo, too. Cincinnati, Iowa State.
Iowa State's dropped 2 in a row now. Kind of took themselves out of that Big 12 picture. Cincinnati, they lost this past week, but they played tough. Whoever it was beat, I can't remember who it was.
And they usually have like these really fast, good receivers too. They're kind of like Louisville.
And they have them dang cornerbacks, man. It seemed like, but I'm gonna take Cincinnati in this one. Just I can't remember who they played. They played another ranked Big 12 team and played them tough. But I'm gonna go the Bearcats.
I'm kind of like you talked about before. You know, I think of Iowa State. I think of slower. I think of Cincinnati. It's like Aaron said. You think more of the type Louisville. You know, greedy, fast little dudes. I'm going Cincinnati.
Walker?
You know, I think coming off a 2-game losing streak, you know, Iowa State's they've got to have something, you know, a chip on their shoulder or something. So I'm gonna go with Iowa State.
Walker, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm with Walker. I think Iowa State's going to take that one.
man, both of you.
I'm going with them too, boys. I think Iowa State's going to get this one as well. Utah, Colorado.
I stayed up late watching the holy war between Utah and BYU.
Oh, that's what we should have talked about right there.
Man.
Oh, God.
Which, Utah struggled this year with injuries and everything else. But that game.
Oh, we got to talk about it. Talk about it, Grant. That BYU quarterback, I was telling her, and I said, man, he got sacked. Probably 6-7 times in the last 3 possessions down there. I thought they had a safety on them, and then that one holding call.
Yeah.
One holding call saved their hide, and they drove all the way down the field. And that coach come out and he give that ref down the road, son.
Which I don't,
Oh man, that was. I thought he actually about had a safety. All right, and then they seen that flag on the field, but yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about rivalry games, though.
But that whole Utah Stadium, man, them people was going crazy. And then all of a sudden, you seen it get so quiet. Yeah. And them guys up there look like, what just happened? Did we get robbed in our own house?
Yeah.
Sure did.
And because of that game, it being such a, emotional game, and Utah struggling with, I feel like they have a emotional letdown, and Colorado's playing good ball. So give me the Buffaloes and the Fighting Deons.
So, come on, dog. Who you got?
Showtime, baby. Let's go Colorado in this one.
Yeah, Colorado, they've been playing some pretty good ball. I don't think they're gonna get stopped yet. I'm gonna go with Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado coming off a big win against Tech, and them being at Colorado, I think they're going to take that one.
Boys, I'm going totally opposite. I'm going with the Utes in this one right here. Pittsburgh, Clemson. Come on, Grant.
I'll go Clemson just because they seem to be a little bit more talented. But this is like the overrated bowl.
It's going to be another Virginia Tech Clemson game kind of deal.
It's the overrated bowl. But, yeah, I guess give me Clemson.
I think Pitt's going to take their 3rd loss in a row right here. I'll take Clemson.
No. Give me those. What?
Give me those Tigers.
Shit, son. Come on, Walker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Tigers.
Yeah, I'm going to take Clemson.
I'm going with the Tigers too. Texas, Arkansas.
Well, I said earlier talking about the way Texas handled Florida. I think that they're back on a roll. So give me the hook 'em horns.
Yeah, they've been flying quiet since that Georgia game, but I mean they just been taking care of business. Really, just nobody's really talking about them a lot since that game. But I'll take them hook 'em horns.
I think Texas is, kind of hard to stop right now. After that Georgia game, they got back on track, and they've been blowing through teams. I'm going to go with Texas.
Yeah, I'm going to take Texas.
I got the horns too. LSU, Florida.
Almost steal a line from Kermit right here. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
I can't go with these Tigers, but I don't think LSU can beat themselves right now. But I'm gonna go Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Gators.
Yeah, I'll go Florida.
Grant, I can't leave you out here by yourself, son.
I ain't picking the Gators.
What? I'm going LSU
I don't
with
care
you,
if
baby.
Tim Tebow comes out and plays quarterback. I ain't picking the Gators.
Oh man,
Virginia, Notre Dame.
I ain't picking Notre Dame, so mark me up with the Wahoos, baby.
Woo! Go Wahoos! No, how about them little leprechauns? I'll take them little leprechauns. I'll go Notre Dame.
Why we got the stupid golden helmets talking about it right here, and talking about the college football playoff? Did you see they have them ranked 10th?
Yes.
If that's the 10th best college football team, college football is horrible.
Had they been beat yet?
Yeah, by Northern Illinois.
Just Northern Illinois.
Who else have they played? They beat Navy, who was ranked at the time. But I mean, come on, we all know it's different at those service academy schools. They ain't got the NIL. They ain't getting the 5 stars.
And
Who
the
have
speed
they
of the
beat?
game is so much bigger for Notre Dame players, so they speed them up, and which forces them to make bigger mistakes in their option play.
Right, and
They start pitching the ball into dirt more and all that. So yeah,
but
they've not
how
played
is this
anybody.
how in the world is this the 10th best team?
They're not, but it's Notre Dame, and their helmets are gold, and it's golden for them to be there.
Their helmets are gold and their football is trash.
Well,
Don't talk.
if there's any way at all, them golden helmets is going to be in this top 12 at the end of
I
this
tell you
season.
what, if I'm sitting there in the playoffs and looking at the seeding, I'm hoping and praying I get Notre Dame in the first round, and I hope and pray I get to host that game.
You don't want none of touchdown Jesus. You just don't want none, son.
All right, Walker, who you got, buddy?
I'm gonna have to go with Fighting Irish.
Woo!
Nah, I'm against Walker. I'm about to go with Virginia.
Zayne's got some sense.
Wow.
You know, I could really see the Wahoos pulling this one off right here. And I'm going to go with the Wahoos too, and I normally don't do that. Oregon, Wisconsin.
Me and Kermit been saying it. Go Ducks.
Quack, 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 baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oregon, man. They ain't been stopped yet.
Yeah, Oregon's rolling. I'm about to go with Oregon.
Wow. Well, I'm going to go with the Ducks as well. We have Tennessee, Georgia for the game of the week.
I mean, I'm a Tennessee fan, but this game does make me nervous just because Georgia coming off a loss, and then another big game right here at home at night. Kirby Smart, I've said it before, and I still think that he is the best big game coach in college football now that Saban's retired. And I mean, he'll have him come out and play, and as bad as I hate to say this, Tennessee, judging going by their past, the past 20 years.
Have confidence.
I got
in
confidence that they're going to play. I mean, I think it's going to be a dogfight of a football game. But this is one of those games for me, for Heupel and Tennessee to take that next step into being where they want to be. You got to prove it. And this is kind of like we talk about with some of the high school teams, like that one over in Clintwood. If you want to, be the man, you got to beat the man, and Georgia's been the man. So I'm gonna say Georgia wins a close one, but I won't be surprised if Tennessee don't go down there and handle business.
It's time for them to.
Yeah.
They've got to. It's now time for them to say, hey,
Like we're
here.
back. We're the big dog. We're once again the big dog in the SEC.
I agree with Grant on some parts of that. I agree. You don't want to see Georgia after a loss like that. And this right here probably put them out of the playoffs. They lose to Tennessee right here. I don't know.
oh yeah, their percentage now is like only in
Let's
70,
3 loss. I mean, I could see a 2-loss SEC
67%
team,
now.
but no 3-loss SEC team.
I agree with you on that part. You definitely don't want to see a great team after they just took a big loss because, they're going to go at it even harder the next week and they're going to come out with something to prove. This is a big game, though. I mean, and kids play up in big games, Georgia could have been just a little let down going into that game. But I think Tennessee's already proved themselves, boys, against Alabama, and I'm gonna take Tennessee in this game. And I'm not even a Vols fan, but go Tennessee, baby.
All right, Walker.
Yeah, I think this game's got big orange football written all over it. I'm going with the Vols.
Yeah, I'm with them. Being a Tennessee fan, no matter who we're playing, I'm going Tennessee. So
Well, boys, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag right now. The reason why Nico did not play in the second half, they had him in there getting his kryptonite injection for this week's ball game. I got the balls over the Georgia Bulldogs. High school football, boys. We're going to get on in here to our high school football with our special guest interview with Walker, Hillman, and Zayne Reed. And again, boys, thanks for being on and everything with us and everything. Walker, I've got some of your stats here right now. Zayne, I don't have anything. You got any of yours?
No, I don't have them on me.
Well, Walker, is this correct? 197 carries on the year for 1,370 yards.
That's about right.
16 touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
And then 54 yards receiving. Is that right?
That's about right.
Rojo. Well, my thing's locked up here on me. Zayne, we'll start with you right here. What goals did you have set for the season this year coming into the season?
You know, being a freshman, I just wanted to do what I could to, help my team, no matter what position that was. As a team, I think I can speak for my team. We all want to play in December. You all want to make it to state. So, as a team, making it to state is my biggest goal that I wanted to achieve. But just doing what I can to help my team, be great.
Yeah, man. Walker?
Oh, yeah, coming off of last year, I knew that we were losing a lot of great guys, and I just knew that, we were going to have some big people step up this year, and, the junior class, we have a small senior class, so we have to have some juniors step up and be leaders and, help those younger guys fill in the roles that we lost last year. And just, I wanted to come into this season just trying to keep everybody going and just push us the farthest we could. And, there's a lot of people that are helping to do that. And, the ultimate goal is, making it to state in December. And just that's what our main focus is right now, is just getting one game at a time.
Yeah, man. Speaking of that, you being a freshman, Zayne, it's kind of impressive that, you didn't get to start at the first of the year, but then like later on in the season, and you kind of got thrown out there, to the wolves, and the way you handled that. I guess Kermit, it was the Union game was the first one that you really
Marion.
Yeah, but I think the Union game is the one that you really shined at the most.
Yeah,
And, that was your first, big game. And the way you handled yourself there as a freshman, you didn't look like a freshman out there. And so that was pretty awesome.
I think it was the first game that we got to watch you that was a really big time game, really emotional game for you guys. And, I thought, well, right here, we're going to see how he handles the fire right here. And the way you come out that second half and kept slinging the ball downfield and a lot of people, if they wasn't at the game, they just don't realize how close y'all was to actually scoring there at the end. And, onside kick or something, y'all could have won that game. It was that close. And people that wasn't there, I just thought it's a tremendous performance from all you guys the second half up at DB. Wild, crazy week. Everything was crazy that week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was definitely impressed.
Yeah, like I said, coming in as a freshman, you don't know what's going to get thrown at you. You try to stay ready for whatever. But I'm very blessed to be able to give me the opportunity that Coach Housewright gave me to get the job done.
Yeah, man. Well, what are your biggest achievements so far in your sports?
I haven't really achieved a lot, for this program. This program's full of legacies, full of so many passionate players throughout the past. Throughout my next 3 years, I hope I can achieve something. I hope I can leave a legacy behind here like the rest of the people that I talk about now. But as of right now, I haven't really achieved nothing that really needs to be talked about for this program.
I'm going to disagree with you, because to be a freshman coming into a program like this and take over starting quarterback and the coaching staff and the other guys having the belief in you, that's a big achievement, man. It says a lot about you as a
Truly
young
it
man.
is.
That says a lot about your football skill, but it says more about your character too. So be proud of that.
Thank you.
Walker, how about you, buddy?
I stepped into the role last year after, our starting running back Landon McDonald got hurt. I've had a couple awards and stuff, but, I've not had anything that I personally think is a big achievement. The ultimate goal, like I said, I want to make it to state, and I feel like that's really when you can consider yourself, you've made it. And until then, or until we make it into a big championship or playoff game, I don't think we've arrived yet, and so I don't feel accomplished about anything until we get to that spot where we want to make it to.
Man, I like these answers these guys are giving.
Yeah, man. Well, as a fan, we're there's a lot that you have achieved. I mean, you're already at 1,300 and some yards rushing this year. I mean, that's pretty spectacular. There's a lot of kids that don't get that, and you've done a real good job toting the ball for them and stuff. So don't hold your head low on that either.
I do like the fact, though, that both of you have kind of shied away from that question with the personal achievements, and
Yes.
It's been more team-oriented.
Absolutely.
I like that. That's kudos to you guys for that, man. That's awesome.
Well, teammates, let's get into teammates. How can your teammates help you guys improve this year as well?
Yeah, like you said, being a freshman, there's a lot of adversity you can face coming in here. Teammates throughout the games, I can be struggling. I can not have the best game, but, they're always going to uplift me, like Walker, my O-line especially. Everybody out there is encouraging me no matter what I'm doing, There can be a lot of pressure on you, but if it's in practice, we're uplifting, we're pushing each other. We're trying to become great. That's what teammates are, and that's just how Coach Housewright, teaches us. That's how he coaches us. We always uplift each other. We always try to be the best that we can at all times.
Walker?
Yeah, I agree with what Zayne said. Playing for Gate City, it's you're coming into a big family. Especially as like a seventh grader and coming up, you see those bonds that the older guys are having, and that's what you dream of having and creating, and you grow up with your friends, and I feel like football, it doesn't just raise you as a player, it raises you as a man, and it helps you create those family bonds, and just going into the games, and you face adversity, or y'all might be down, but you're never gonna get tore down by your teammates or your brothers. They're just constantly there to pick you up, and if they see something that you don't see, they're gonna help you. It's constructive criticism. It's never just straight tearing you down, and I think the coaches have done a great job in helping us be great men, and raising us to be able to teach each other, and just grow together.
You got anything on that, Grant?
Man, I'm just impressed. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say everybody, I'm impressed with these young men.
Kermit, you got anything? Yeah, buddy.
Well, that's just the right way to go about it, when and one thing you were saying there, but I'll go back to anybody that wants to know how state championship teams do it. And when we was growing up, I don't care if you played for Gate City, Powell Valley, Appalachia, Coburn, Norton. You played for those guys that stepped on that field before you. Those guys' honor and everything, that they had built before you, and you just wanted to be a part of that so bad. But man, it was just so awesome when you come out and you played not just for you and your team, but you played for a whole town, because the whole town was behind you, and them was the people you played for. And I think playing for one another like that and putting others before yourself, that's how you win championships.
Coming off of that, Kermit talking about playing for the town and stuff. I mean, we can start with you, Zayne. What's it like coming out and strapping on that blue and white here in Gate City, and knowing you have all these fans out here and stuff, and you're here playing for them and as well?
Yeah, it's so special. I mean, it's really you can't really put many words to it. Going out there on Friday nights, the smokes, the lights, everything out there.
Some of my family played here. Coming here as a little kid, you always dream of playing here. I'm so honored and blessed to be able to do it now.
Walker?
Yeah, I agree with Zayne. I spent, many Friday nights coming to these Gate City ball games, and just as a kid, you'd get chills just watching, and, it was always a dream to, make little kids feel like that, and, just wear the blue and white, represent the town, and, it's always special because, that there's never going to be one day that the town don't have your back, and, that's a big thing in the game is, crowd support, and, that'll change a game real quick, change the momentum. But, yeah, I think it's a really special thing. Gate City is a really special town. You don't have many like it. There's not that many people, so that, it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody, and it's a big, group, and everybody loves each other, and it's always support constantly. It's a great thing.
Let me ask you this question here. What was it like the first time that the very first game you played, and you go out, you do your warm-ups, you come back in, you're fixing to go back out, and then the big garage door opens up back here, and then you see the line leading out to the tunnel, and the Hell's Bell starts playing? Well, I mean, what kind of feeling did that give you?
Man, I think it's just, one of them things you really just have to be a part of. I feel bad for, kids that never get to grow up and play Gate City football, because it's really just one of those things you have to be a part of to, realize how special it is. It feels like anything you've never felt before. Just especially now we got those crazy lights going on. It's a crazy atmosphere to be a part of. Going out, you feel fine, and then coming back in, waiting right there right before we do the Lord's Prayer. You're sitting there and butterflies start building up in your stomach. You feel like you're about to puke everywhere. But, right after you go out there on kickoff, crowd's going, you make that first hit, man, you're good to go the rest of the game.
He sounds like me. I love that first hit after kickoff.
Yeah. Zayne, what was it like for you, buddy?
I mean, it's just surreal. Going out there, little kids lined up, giving them a high five. You just need to give them something to look up to. Like Walker said, butterflies. Me being a freshman, so many butterflies my first game. But yeah, after that first play, it kind of just goes away. But it's just so real being able to play for this program.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you all saw, of course, growing up, you saw what came before you and how you all looked up to that. And, you look at even you all was here when Matt McClung was here to start with, and how that he treated people and everything. That's what it's got to be like, never, ever shun any of them people, man. Just always be there for them little ones, man.
That's what I was going to say, Walker. Zayne, you touched on it, Walker, about, you remember being a kid and being at these games and stuff and looking up those guys that walked out of that tunnel. How does it feel now for you guys to be those guys, that those little kids that are playing Pee-wee football and stuff here, and they're like, dude, I want to be that guy. That guy, I'm going to play like that guy. How does that, you ever think about that?
Yeah, man. We'll talk about it from time to time. It's just, you'd sit there and you couldn't wait for that day to come, and, you don't realize how fast it actually does. And, just sitting there, every time you see one of those little kids stick out their hands, you have to give them a high five, because you just sit there and you remember, like, you were that little kid one time that would get chills every time you seen, a Gate City football player walk out of there. And just, no matter how the game's going, man, it's just, they're there to support you, and, they're young, and for them to have, a much, enough attention span to, pay attention to the game and realize, that this is what they're going to be when they're older. And just, it's a crazy thing to especially be able to just represent and, have them little kids look up to us like how I used to look up to, the older Gate City players.
Yeah, what Walker said, being in that half circle, wanting a high five from the the players coming out, it's just so special. And to be able to, have kids look up to me, or eventually look up to me now, I really hope I can carry on and just keep doing what I am, so they continue to look up to me.
Yeah, man. Walker, who was here first that you looked up to as a running back and stuff? Who was before you that you was really?
Mac McClung, he played running back here for a little bit, and then he took the time off football to focus on basketball, which, it ended up really good for him, as you can see. But, after that, Caleb Herron, he was a really good he was a good quarterback, but he was about as good as a running back as he was. Luke Reed, he was a special running back, man. His sophomore year, he had about 1,000 yards or something. You know, I really looked up to him because I was around him a lot because he played soccer, you know, for my dad. And just, you know, there's been a lot of special running backs come through here, you know, a lot before me. And just, it's crazy to think, you know, to carry on the running back legacies just of how many great people there were. You know, you had Jake Housewright, he was a fullback. He was an absolute stud, man. You had Mickey and Stan Rogers. They were great. Tyler Parks, you know, there were a lot of great ones. Joe Vaughn, man, he was a special guy. Just watching back, you know, sometimes we'll go back and we'll watch that old film and just, it's crazy to think, you know, and watch those guys before you because just how special they were and just, it's crazy to be able to carry on that legacy.
Zayne, who'd you look up to?
My cousin DeAndre Mack, he used to go here. He wasn't really a quarterback; he was more as a receiver. But you know, looking up to him. My brother Terrence Mack, he used to play here. He was a running back, but you know, just special looking up to them. Luke Bledsoe, you know, being a 3-year starter, it's a lot to take under the belt from him. But you know, I'm trying to continue to achieve what he left for me. So.
That's definitely some big shoes to fill, Luke. For sure.
I tell you though, man, Walker, he's done his research, ain't he? He pulled up all that old school stuff. I know when I played against Gate City there, you know, they had, like you was mentioning, Jake Housewright, Beasley. You ever know Beasley? Yeah. Watch his video. Beasley probably had one of the hardest hits on somebody I'd ever seen in my life, and that was against us.
That's actually Lindsey Fisher done that.
Oh, that was Lindsey. The one that hit old. Funny story is we just had received the ball on special teams, and I just come off the field, and it seemed like it wasn't but 2 plays, and next thing I know, here I hear that big thud of the ball. And we was punting, and I was supposed to have been out there on punt team too. And the guy that took my place, Jason Hyder, run downfield wide open, and I'm telling you, he got one of the biggest crackbacks you ever seen in your life. And I thought it about broke him in half. And I know Tom Turner was going to have my hind end at halftime, going into halftime. But and Shoemaker, you know, he's got 7 foot. What?
Yeah. Now that I think of it, he didn't carry the ball much, but the times he did, man, he could lay the hit to somebody. He's a coach of ours, Coach Benny Wolf. Man, he went and played Tech linebacker. He was a stud. He was a wedge buster at Tech.
Yeah, Benny was in there in that
grown
96.
man,
Yeah. And then you know you had Jeremy. He's all right, but.
Good old safety.
Yep, he was. Well, what challenges have you guys had, you know, faced playing sports? Don't have to just necessarily be football. I'm sure you are multi-sport guys.
Yeah, I'm going to start with football. With football, you know, like you said, freshman adversity coming in, you know, there's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of things that you overthink. Being with this coaching staff, they're so open-hearted. They care for you like you're their own kids. They guided me through this. They made sure that I was always all right. I mean, there wasn't a time that they didn't believe in me. They always believed in me. They always have your back. So I mean, throughout those challenges, you know, it's very warm. I mean, heart opening that, you know, you have such an open coaching staff to be there for you through it all.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit on that. What Zayne just said. You know, my freshman year, I didn't have that much of a big role. I played a lot of special teams, you know, because we had some great running backs. Ethan Fleming, he's a good stud right in front of me, and Landon McDonald was right behind him. But you know, going into my sophomore year, I had to, you know, step up and take a big role after Landon got hurt, and you know, the coaches, they really helped, you know, not put a lot of pressure on you, and you know, even though you felt it, you know, they had you prepared, and, you know, we had a great offensive line, so I wasn't really too worried. but it's still one of those big challenges. Stepping in as a sophomore at a varsity role, especially when you've not had that big of one before that. It's a big scary factor, and it felt real nice to have everybody have my back and just I could coast through it.
That's awesome. Highlights. What are your biggest highlights and achievements in sports so far?
I don't really.
You've got one right now.
I guess. I just got my first recent offer from Bluefield University. That's a big highlight in my life. I've always dreamed of playing college ball as a kid. I feel like that's a big step in the right direction and something I've been looking forward to for a while. So I feel like that's probably the big highlight that I've got. But other than that, next thing I'm looking at's a ring on my finger.
I hear you, baby.
Yeah, with Walker, I mean, not many highlights or achievements that you can really achieve right now, but eventually I have more going throughout my season. But really, that's all we're looking for right now is to get that ring.
Well, it's 0-0 right now. It's a whole new season. Has either one of you a team captain?
No. The way we do team captains, it's the seniors that have been there before us because, they got the most experience and they're great leaders. We have great seniors and, they're good captains. And it's just, you couldn't ask for anybody better to, be leading you. It's a great thing to have.
It's awesome. And we done spoke on the offers and stuff. So, we'll skip on past that one. And like I said, you've gotten an offer from Bluefield University. Is anybody else even talking to you, or?
I got some people talking to me on Twitter and stuff, and I'm trying to go to, every one of the games that I get invited to if I can get the chance. But, it's just I'm trying to be as open as I can right now.
Yeah. I know this past summer you was in a lot of camps and stuff. Is that something that you think's helped you a lot too, going to those camps?
Yeah, I think, I went to Carson Newman and I went to Coastal Carolina and UPike. I think that was a big factor in, helping me advance my role as running back, learning from those college coaches and, the little details that you didn't think mattered as much, they proved to you and showed to you that they do. And, it was just stuff you would never know that could help like crazy. Just they showed you and proved to you. And, I feel like it's helped my game out a lot this year.
Zayne, you doing any camps, or have you?
No, over the summer I didn't go to any camps.
Or are you planning on maybe?
I plan on doing some more this summer coming up. I plan on going to a few. So
Tennessee hosts a good camp up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go to the Tech one. Me and a bunch of players. That was a great camp to go to. There was a lot of great kids there. But yeah, our coaches got together and took 8 or 9 of us. It was a great time.
Shoot you out. Well, let's get into some fun questions and let these people know you a little bit more. Well, Zayne, we'll start with you. What's your favorite food?
Me personally, I love some shrimp Alfredo.
We had a
Chicken Alfredo.
chicken Alfredo.
Chicken
once.
Alfredo, baby.
I like some good old steak. Man, you can't beat it.
That's right, dog.
Good old medium steak, medium rare sometimes.
Oh, my man.
Can't beat it.
Where'd you go to for it?
Today I went and ate at Texas Roadhouse, but Chop House, and then you can't beat a home cooked one. I mean, it's great to have. You go and buy some from Food City, or you get somebody to chop one up for you. It's good.
Throw it on the grill at home.
Yeah. Old Blackstone.
All right, Zayne, where's your go-to for your shrimp Alfredo?
Mother's cooking. I love my mom's shrimp Alfredo. It's best choice.
Mom was cooking away shrimp Alfredo side.
Huh?
What's your favorite restaurant?
Probably Cheddar's. Probably Cheddar's.
Where you get at Cheddar's?
The shrimp Alfredo or the chicken tenders. You can never go wrong with some chicken tenders.
What about the spinach dip?
No, I'm not a big spinach guy.
I wasn't either. Have you had theirs?
No.
You need to try it. I promise you it will change your life forever.
All I'm
I'll
saying
have
is
to try
Popeye
that.
egg spinach, man.
And you're gonna go. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go over there and you're gonna try that and go, man, the tailgate talk boys was right.
Aaron's is ooey magoos.
I like Huey Magoo's now.
Now, Aaron likes anything with chickens. That's why I keep him away from my backyard. I have to count my chickens every time he comes by the house. Make sure he didn't get one.
I like steak too now. I'll be a snake guy. All right, Walker, what's your pregame snack?
We don't really have a certain pregame snack, because we got a boosters club, the touchdown club. It's a group of ladies. They feed us all the time. The churches around the community and just big businesses around the community, they'll feed us. So, we have a great meal before games. So there's not really a certain pregame snack that we have.
I know I got kind of jealous. A few weeks ago, you Texas Roadhouse fed you.
Yeah, we had some steak and chicken and some baked potatoes.
God. Zayne, what's yours, bud?
Yeah, with Walker, the Touchdown Club feeding us, we're very thankful for them. So we really don't have a pregame snack, really, but pregame meal. But, yeah, like I said, we're just thankful for all they do for us.
So, no, anything they've done so far has not been a favorite. I mean, you may get it again, boys. That's the time to let them know what your favorite one is.
That steak was pretty good.
All right, pregame routines.
We get taped and stuff, but there's some places they blast music and they get loud and rowdy. But one thing we do is we just turn off all the lights and just try to get focused. And we'll sit in our lockers and just try to think about what we're getting ready to do. And a lot of us we've started to stretch a lot before we go out there and stretch as a team. Personally, I think that's a big thing to have. Big pregame ritual is, sometimes we'll, I can't remember now. Well, I'll get back to it. Here you go, Zayne.
Yeah, like he was saying, we don't really have a pregame routine. I mean, stretching, listening to your own music that you want to listen to. But other than that, we don't really do nothing.
Is there anything that you have to do before a game, like?
I mean, yeah, getting my arms loose, arm bands, all that, he's trying to get stretched out as best as I can before, we stretch as a team on the field. But other than that, we don't really have a pregame routine that we really do. I don't, anyways.
I mean, does your armbands have to be just perfect?
I mean, no.
You ain't got a ritual you do before a game.
No, I don't. I mean, I kind of just do my own thing, just trying to get as best stretched out that I can before I got there.
You ever come up to like Walker and say, "Hey, dog, man, does this look legit right here?"
Nah.
How about you, Walker? Anything that's just got to be just right?
I think everybody cares about what they look like out there. But, no, I don't. I've been wearing leggings, because it started to get colder, and I don't know why. But, I started playing good with them. I just kept wearing them. But, everybody, sometimes there'll be people come around and be like, man, do I look okay? I don't want to go out there and look like an idiot. And you're like, if you play good, nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Exactly right.
Well, that's definitely true.
He'll come in next week and ain't got his leggings. He go all to pieces on it.
Does it matter who does your tape, or do you have one certain person?
Coach Hunter Jones. That's who I love to tape me. I think he does it the best.
yeah, he tapes everybody's wrist. I like him. He's done it since my freshman year. But we have two guys. They tape ankles really good. I don't have a preference for them. We got Coach Aaron Daugherty and Coach Brent Tipton. They're both pretty good at taping ankles. It don't really matter which one does it.
Awesome. What's your go-to music pregame?
I like to listen to country personally. I listen to a lot of Zach Bryan, Tyler Childers. I listen to some Johnny Cash. And then sometimes you like throw in some slower songs like Coldplay or like The Fray. Just kind of relax and think about what you're doing. I don't like all the rap stuff. My brain can't process all of it too quickly.
Yeah, I'm against Walker. I mean, I love the rap. You got to get that hardcore stuff to get pumped up. But I mean, you can throw a little bit of country in there, here and there.
Throw in that good metal.
So, what's your favorite go-to song, pregame song?
I don't really have a go-to. I mean, it's kind of just a shuffle of my playlist. I mean, a bunch of songs in there, so whatever comes on is what I go with.
Y'all got anything for them on that? All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about last week's matchup with you guys, or this week's matchup with you guys having to travel to Union. This is second time that you get to play them, and you probably feel like you left a little bit out there on that last one and everything. So let's talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, going to Union, great atmosphere. I don't think we know what to expect. Playing here at Legion, it's so crowded and so packed. But I think Coach Rouser, I know he's going to get us ready for this week. He's going to do all that he can with his staff to, get us ready and prepared. It's going to be a great game. Should hopefully we come out on top. But, throughout this week, we're just going to get ready and see what goes from there.
Yeah, I think, especially it being playoff ball, going up to Bullet Park, it's going to be a big atmosphere. That's other than Legion, I think that's one of the craziest atmospheres I played at. I played at it last year, and I've watched games there all my life. I watched James Mitchell play there, and it was, he was a great athlete, and it was crazy. But I think it's going to be a great game, and our coaches are going to have us really well prepared, and it's going to be a battle. Union's they're a great physical team, and we just got to match that physicality. They got a really high power in offense and a great defense. But I think it's going to be a great game for people to be at.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to this one right here as well. All right. Y'all got anything on that? About this week's matchup? Any questions? Grant?
No, I don't want to put them in a spot.
Okay. All right. We're going to get on. We're going to go on in here and talk about these high school playoffs a little bit. And in Region 1D, we have number 8, Rural Retreat will be traveling to number 1, Rock Cove. Number 7, Patrick Henry will be going to number 2, Holston. Number 6, Thomas Walker will be going to number 3, Eastside, while number 5, Grundy will be going to number 4, Honaker. Boys, do you see any upsets maybe in this first week in the 1D?
One that I could see, and it's just because they seem to be getting healthy at the right time. I could see Patrick Henry knocking Holston off there. If they got their guys back.
That was a really close game they had earlier in the season too.
Yeah, and it's hard to beat a good team twice. And Patrick Henry might be that 7th seed, but in my opinion, they're not they didn't sneak into the playoffs. They're not. I don't feel like that about them. Really, you can go down the list and that 1D and any of them. That's why they play the game, man. Ain't nothing pre-decided, but that's the one that stands out to me that would not be a shocker if Patrick Henry gets that win.
Yeah, I do want to say congratulations to Eastside and Rock Cove. Both of them has done something that never has happened in school history. Rock Cove had their first 10-0 perfect season in school history, and Eastside, first time that they've been 9-1 in the program history. So
yeah, I think 9 wins is actually a program high period for them, not just regular season. So congratulations to the Spartans.
Yep, congratulations to both of them.
And to Rock Cove, for their first 10-0 season.
I think that Grundy Honaker game's probably going to be a pretty good one too. So
To me, I feel like Atten's ranked wrong there. I feel like Grundy's really number 4 compared to Honaker being 4. I believe Grundy will pull that one out.
I agree with Kermit. I think Grundy's going to win that one. Grundy, we talked about it. Their schedule at the beginning of the year is why they're not a 3 or 4 seed potentially, but I think they'll pull this win out.
Yes, sir. Well, in 2D, we got number 8, Lehigh, going to the number 1, Graham. Number 7, Gate City, will be traveling to number 2, Union. Number 6, Tazewell at number 3, Ridgeview. Number 5, Lebanon at number 4, Virginia High. This is pretty stacked up here too. In this 2D, I mean, there's some teams that's barely climbed in here. You know, that,
Yeah.
I mean, your 5 through 8 was really tight, and there's some really good football teams right there in that bottom half. And congratulations to Virginia High, Coach Patterson. He wanted to host one, and
they're hosting one.
so he's got that. He's got that opportunity now.
And that, that was that wasn't a. They sort of dominated that game 2-3 weeks ago. Lebanon's not a bad football team at all. Like I said, it's hard to beat a good football team twice, but I feel like there's 2 games in there that could go either way, and a lot of people might be shocked when I say this, but I think that if Lehigh can go up there and keep that quarterback upright, I think they can outscore Graham. It's going to take the perfect game from Lehigh and some mistakes from Graham, but I think they could, just because of the matchup. It's not a good matchup for Graham with their, they struggle scoring points.
Yep.
And Lehigh can score points, but you got to go up there and do it. And then too, Gate City Unions just seems to always be one of those games that it's close. It don't throw records, throw rankings, throw everything out the window. Flip a quarter, put the ball on the tee, and let's play and see who the better team is. So, wouldn't be surprised at all if Gate City, goes down to Bullitt Park and gets that win.
In 2D now, I could see probably at least 2, maybe 3 of these games going the other way. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the pickings of these. We'll start with 1D first, and then we'll roll on into 2D. You boys can pick on the 1D if you want, but 2D we'll leave that alone. Warnings, we don't want you to give no bulletin board material. But like I said, we'll start right here with the 1D first, and we have Rural Retreat at number 1, Ryco. Who you got?
I was actually shocked with Rural Retreat last week. Didn't Honaker beat them? Was that who they played?
Yep.
Rural Retreat, I've got, me, I've got them War Eagles, baby. You ain't even got to say it.
All right, Grant.
I'm going Rycove in this one too. I think they're just a better team.
All right, they're opting out on that. Number 7, Patrick Henry at number 2, Holston.
I done said I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick Henry wins this game. They got, if they have their guys back, I wouldn't be in that. But I'm gonna pick the Rebels. I'm going Patrick Henry.
Well, I'm going Ryco in that first one. I didn't say that, but I am going Ryco Eagles.
Who you got in this one, dog?
In this one here?
Yeah.
And I honestly think that Patrick Henry's going to get this win in this one right here. I really do.
I feel like Patrick Henry's back full strength. They can pull this one off. But just because you two went Patrick Henry, I'm going to go Holston.
What the world? Number 6, Thomas Walker, and number 3, Eastside. I got the Eastside Spartans in this one, boys.
Yeah, I've got Eastside in this one too. Home game. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first playoff game in that, since they consolidated that school and made it Eastside. So another first there for this program, but I got Eastside in this one.
Yeah, Thomas Walker, congratulations on a pretty good season there. But I've got Eastside in this one.
Number 5, Grundy at number 4, Honaker.
Grundy big. Big time.
Grundy big?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going Grundy. I don't know. I won't be shocked if it's big,
Big.
but I'm just going to say Grundy.
Yeah, I got Grundy in this one as well. All right, over into the 2D. Number 8, Lee, going to number 1, Graham.
I know I said that Lee could pull this off, and I feel like they can just because of the matchup. That don't mean I think they're going to. So give me the G men.
Well, if you are going to beat Graham, you're probably going to have to throw the ball. Because, man, their line is tough.
That's where I think the problem's going to be for Lee. I don't think they're going to be able to have time to throw the ball.
Yeah, but, Graham.
Maybe they'll throw in some short mesh rats and stuff like that. Keep the passing game short where you can get the ball off quick.
Yeah, but Graham just does too much on defense with turnovers and stuff like that. They probably scored more points off of defense this year or set themselves up for points being scored off their defense.
Oh, definitely. Defense and special teams has been big for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Graham's defense is just way too much. I'm gonna go Graham.
Yeah, I got the G-men in this one as well. Number 7, Gate City at number 2, Union.
Go ahead, Kermit.
This was, like I said, unless you was at the game to realize how close it was, the score just should tell you how close it was, but this game being at Union, I'm going to go Union in this one.
Like I said, it don't matter if it's playoffs, regular season. This is one of those games you can throw records out, you can throw rankings out, everything else. It's Gate City and Union. But I think the home field advantage does play a factor with the Bears, and I think they pull out a close one.
Well, in this last one, there was a lot of things that factored into that game too. I mean, here was trying to get the game off. Power's out. It's been rescheduled like 10 times. Hour before the game is going to get kicked off, power goes out again. So then we're like traveling over to DB, and so there's a lot, and for both of them teams to step up the way they did and come out.
That's what I'm saying. You can take all that
still
in.
Get up.
You can take everything with these two. When these two teams get together, you can take all the craziness that happened that week. You can take the records. You can take the rankings, all that, and throw it out the window.
Yeah, and I think, there's probably not many people thinking Gate City can pull this one off. I say there's 50-some kids that's going to have a white helmet on that believes they do, and that's all that matters in it.
It is.
And I'm going to be the extra one that believes in them. I'm going Gate City in this one right here. Number 6, Tazewell. Number 3, Ridgeview.
Wolfpack in this one. I feel like Tazewell, one of those teams that kind of backed into the playoffs.
Tazewell and Lebanon played last week.
Yeah.
Tazewell come back and beat Lebanon, and it was just like Porch Talk had said. If you want to see two of the best quarterbacks and Southwest Virginia, go watch that game, and because both of them has done unbelievable things. We all know that Tazewell quarterbacks is leading the state with about every stat you can imagine, and kid at Lebanon's put on a heck of a performance all year long. But that's the problem with these two teams. I just think the offense is there. They're missing the defense part of the game, and that's where they both hurt at. Man, I think Ridgeview's got some defense, and some offense, and that's why I take Ridgeview in this one.
That's what Ridgeview, man, they play pretty decent defense, and Tazewell don't seem to play I'm like you. That's going to be the difference.
I think that's Tazewell and Lebanon's weakness. I really do.
I think you know, getting away from Ridgeview's first 4 to 5 games this season, playing such a weak schedule, they finally got into the, you know, the beef of their schedule, and I think it's helped them. You know, I know they lost to Union. I know they lost to Abingdon. They had Abingdon that just thrown that ball to 5-yard line, or they win this ball game. But I think that's helped them. And then coming to Gate City, and you know, they put on a good performance here. But I'll just be honest with you, when it comes to the air raid offense and stuff, Tazewell's quarterback probably reads that defense probably better than any quarterback in Southwest Virginia. And he finds those holes in that defense, and he gets their guys in those positions, and he has some great receivers in this. And just to be honest with you, I'm going with the upset in this one right here. I'm going Tazewell over Ridgeview. Number 5, Lebanon at Virginia High.
Same thing for me goes here, you know, as the Ridgeview and Tazewell. I just think Virginia High plays both sides of the ball, and you know, I know Reese will put on a heck of a show no matter what, but Virginia High is too much on both sides of the ball. I got Virginia High in this one.
I think Virginia, if Lebanon wants to get this game closer than what it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, they'll hand the ball off to that 44.
Run it!
Yeah,
Run it, Cletus!
And you know, they ain't got to do it 30 times. Don't get away from who you are.
Yeah.
But they've got to do it enough that Virginia High at least has to slow their pass rush down. If they do that, it's a close game, but I still think that Virginia High gets this win. And I told y'all for weeks and weeks and weeks now, I'm on that Coach Patterson train, man. I like the dude, like what he's doing down there.
Yeah, they're definitely so daggone athletic, man. It's unreal. Speaking of that, Slagle, man, had a crazy awesome interception in this past week's game. That kid at safety just plays it so, that position. So, I mean, you think he's way out of the play, and next thing you know, he's back in there and he's picking it off.
He suckers you into throwing it.
Oh, he will. Yeah. And I mean, just their corners and everything, they're just so athletic out there. I mean, everything. I've got Virginia High winning this one as well. Well, that's all we got for this week, boys. Zayne, Walker, thank you guys for coming on, being on with us and everything, and for this week.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate y'all for having us.
Kermit, you got anything else on your heart, buddy?
Man, I just love y'all coming out and talking to us. Y'all so humble, and everything. You can tell just by being around you and what you say, you know. And man, I hope you guys the best, you know. And when people count you out, man, just let that build a fire inside of you, man. Let that work on you all week, you know. Give you something to work for, to prove. Come out and prove the world wrong, you know. I think I said it last time I was here, you know. People pick against you, so what? It's you against the world, you know what I mean? Just go out there and prove the world wrong.
Great. You got anything for them?
I've said it a couple times. These are 2 impressive, you know, young men, 2 fine football players, but more importantly, 2 impressive young men, and kudos to their parents and the coaches and stuff here that influence them. And don't let our picks and stuff get you guys, man. Go out and prove us wrong. I'd love it.
Absolutely. I do want to say, great young men here, and we're looking forward to seeing what your future holds for you and everything, and all that good stuff. Good luck to you this week. Go out there and play some Gate City football, and let's get this W, boys. Woo!
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
All right, guys, if all hearts and minds clear, peace.